Let's talk about this story we got here. The Georgia judge sets October 23rd trial date for Trump co-defendant Kenneth Chesebrough. I think that's something y'all should consider. Let me first give you a little context. A Georgia judge on Thursday signed off on a quick turnaround to the start of the trial for Kenneth Chesebrough, one of the 18 defendants charged alongside former President Donald Trump in connection with the alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The ruling, scheduling an October 23 start date, came just after Trump's newly appointed attorney said he would move to sever the former president's case from Chesebrough or any other defendant who sought an expedited timeline. What are the chances? And I understand some people might say it's not legally possible. I don't care. What are the chances Kenneth Chesebrough convicted November? And then they say Donald Trump was charged for the exact same things. And if this guy was convicted, Trump should not be on the ballot either because he's a co-conspirator. We move to 14th Amendment, his name off the ballot.
Yeah, except he's charged, not convicted.
Doesn't matter. Trump shouldn't be charged in the first place. His lawyer shouldn't be charged in the first place. My point is this. Mm-hmm. Several months ago, if I were to tell you they're going to indict Jenna Ellis for being Trump's lawyer, people would be like, well, they can't. Legal counsel is protected in the Constitution. And then they did. So they'll have their PR excuse.
But I don't know if
Donald Trump was the mastermind, but can they charge someone's lawyer? Jenna Ellis is accused of counts 1 and 2, literally being part of a criminal conspiracy and solicitation of a violation of oath of office, literally just because she was Trump's lawyer. Other people in the charges were reaching out to people and asking them to do things. Jenna Ellis's counsel, counts 1 and 2. We said this months ago, they can't indict Trump, a former sitting president. Never happened, but then they did. Or a year ago.
Sure.
They're not going to go after his lawyers. They are. I said, next up is media personalities. Now we're hearing James O'Keefe is under investigation, criminal investigation in New York. It's going to keep happening. That's why I'm saying, maybe. The legal theory is Trump's not been convicted. But the argument they will make is Trump was the mastermind who ordered Chesebrough to do these things for which he's been convicted. That proves it as far as anyone needs to understand that Trump is an insurrectionist.
I don't know that it matters because Eugene B. Debs was a socialist who ran for president multiple times from prison. There's precedent.
Yes, but they'll remove his name from the ballot under the 14th Amendment. Trump can run all he wants, and they'll just say, yeah, that's fine, but your name won't be on the ballot because the 14th Amendment says you're an insurrectionist. You can be a socialist in prison and still run. That we know. But they've already done this to, what's the guy's name in New Mexico? You know what I'm talking about? New Mexico politician got removed from the election because they called him an insurrectionist. They tried using it on Marjorie Taylor Greene and Madison Cawthorn. You want to look? You look at it.
But he's not convicted. What I'm saying is that if he's not convicted, technically, until he's convicted, how do you remove his name from the ballot? He's still charged. You can't say
removing someone's name from the ballot under the 14th Amendment would be novel.
Well, everything's novel. So
exactly. Yeah. And so the issue is this. What's his name?
It's Coy Griffin.
Coy Griffin.
Coy Griffin. Thank you.
Yeah, Coy Griffin. That's right. They said he was an insurrectionist, so he's ineligible now. Donald Trump is the mastermind of the conspiracy who gave the instructions, right?
Allegedly.
And if this guy is convicted, what does he say in court about what Trump told him to do? And then they can say, this is not about a criminal conviction of Donald Trump. This is about a statement of fact sworn under oath that Donald Trump instructed an individual to assist him in insurrection, thus disqualified as an elected to run for office. His name should be removed from the ballot.
I'm not saying that they might not try that, but that's one of those where you got to get really black-pilled. I hope at some point the Supreme Court's saying, well, he's not convicted yet, dummies. Let's hope that maybe the cover of the Constitution can remain.
They're not, but I'm not talking about the criminal case. I'm saying in this criminal trial of Kenneth Chesebrough, he will be asked, what did Donald Trump tell you? Thus, they will launch a civil suit against Trump outside of any requirements of criminal conviction to say, witness testimony in a criminal case, Trump instructed these people to engage in insurrection, adding on top January 6th statements, people storming the Capitol, all of that. They'll play clips out of context. This will add to, we're not trying to criminally charge him. That's a totally different case. We're saying he waged insurrection, therefore he's ineligible.
Yeah, I don't know. That's where I say, please get Robert Barnes in here and ask him that because
but it's not a legal question. It's a political
election
question.
Law. Well, it's election law too. I mean,
considering they've indicted Trump's lawyers, I don't think it's a...
Well, ballot access is absolutely election law.
Right, but they could do anything they want because the law is not written by the Lord. Law is written by men and is ignored all the time.
Yeah.
The fact that they've arrested Trump's lawyers sets the standard. They can do anything they want. They will make up whatever they want. So my question is just, maybe you're right. Maybe it's just, this is the line where they say, well, we've violated the Constitution. We've created new novel ways of prosecuting people, but this one time we stop.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that this fails. I mean, it is dark. Obviously, they're arresting counsel, and I find it completely disturbing. And I hope there's a backlash. And that's why I'm pissed off about a lazy-ass Congress that's not pulling her up there. Yeah. Because the feds need to be coming down, and they need to be saying, what the hell's going on? The state managed to get it together. They managed to get 2 houses in Georgia itself that is landing an investigation of her. We've got this problem. Why isn't Jack Smith under investigation? Why are we being so damn lazy on one side? Well, maybe because we really kind of like the idea that Trump's getting put away. Maybe we kind of want another candidate to come up there. Maybe we like,
there is only one side, though.
No, you get
these
the
neocons, exactly.
Sure.
So they're sitting there going like, no, wait, don't, Democrats. And we're going, yeah, you tell them. And then they go to the same parties and hook up with the same escorts and drink the same wine. And
right, they hate populism. They hate the people.
Yes. Yep. Plain and simple.
I mean, even if they don't hate the people, they're at the very least not interested in serving the people and interested in maintaining their own power and staying in Washington, D.C. and, eating the good food and living in the nice places and going to the nice places and stuff. So, and they're indifferent to what is actually legal, what the law says.
These are the people that when you go to the halls of Congress and knock on the door and you walk in, they're all smiling and saying, how can we help you? And you're like, I just wanted to, leave a letter for the congressman. They'll be like, thank you so much. And then when they walk out, they'll go, ooh, and they start wiping themselves off. And the congressman pops out and goes, oh, it was in here. Oh. They don't like you. These people don't like you. There's like 12 members of Congress, maybe 20 that like you. Overwhelmingly, they don't. All you are is a number. They're having meetings with their consultants saying, look, I just want to get more votes. What do I need? And they're like, people like red. Have you considered wearing red? You'll get more votes that way. They don't go to someone and say, you, constituent, you're a farmer. What should I wear, a red tie or a blue tie? So I don't think it matters. I'm wondering why the prices are going up for my fuel. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to wear the red tie. That's what they are. They're not actually, this is why I think we were talking to Freedom Caucus guy. I can't remember which one. He said that they had the votes to overturn Obamacare, and Republican leadership came to him and said, but don't do it because we're going to use this to campaign. Yep. They do not care about you. It's got to stop, man. And I don't know that MAGA is it, but certainly whatever it is populism is bringing is politicians who are actually talking with constituents. And maybe this is it. Maybe it's social media for all of its negatives has some positives in that as we form our own communities where we care about issues, the representatives that we elect share those values in much the same way because they're part of the same spheres.
Mm-hmm. No, you had a sponsor, right? You were just talking about what, Public Square?
Yeah.
Well, that's power. What's happening with Bud Light is a real thing.
Yeah.
And I really do believe Andrew Breitbart was correct when he said politics is downstream of culture.
Yep.
And if the culture divide, you've got a show about culture, that's going to push the politics because they can't afford to keep going against it. If the culture turns, they have to go with it, ultimately.
Right.
So you've got to change the culture.
I completely agree. That's everything. That's why, most of the stuff we do here, we'll talk politics, but most of our investments are not political. I see no point. I've donated to political candidates a bunch of times, but I don't see a real point in doing that. I'll put it this way. Tucker Carlson, where is he most effective? Doing a show or being president? What do you think?
Sure.
Absolutely. The cultural force of him coming out and talking to people and inspiring people, way more important than signing an executive order.
Oliver Anthony, your band.
Absolutely.
He's most effective when he has a show and Trump is the president because then Trump just listens.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's that too. That's a cultural pipeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump's on Air Force One just watching Tucker Carlson.
Taking
that's what he
note.
did.
He's
And
got someone taking notes for him while he shows down.
Yeah, I wish we get
McDonald's.
some like behind the scene footage of them hanging out in Maine while they like filmed that interview.
No, they were in Bedminster.
Oh, they were?
I'm pretty sure Tucker went to New Jersey. Yeah, I don't
know
think
for
Trump's
sure.
going to travel to, you know.
I just know that's where his studio is, or that's where he was.
Here's
filming a
another
lot of
thing to
stuff.
consider. Maybe the real reason or a reason Trump didn't go to the debates, there's no way he can go to Milwaukee debate and then fly to Atlanta the next day, turn himself in. That's,
I heard it was pre-recorded though.
No, I'm saying
The
if he
interview was.
flew to Milwaukee for a live debate
Oh well, yeah.
and then
there's
he
that.
left at midnight and flew back and then he has to fly back the next day, that's brutal.
But he was saying that he wasn't really interested in doing the debates for way before Georgia indicted
Right.
him.
He could have
I
turned
mean,
himself in before or whatever.
Yeah, well, and like he has been saying, I don't see the point of this. I'm clearly in the lead. All of you guys are just going to, try and attack me. Like it only benefited the RNC if Trump won because more people would
And
tune in
Fox.
to watch. And Fox.
Yeah. You
It
saw that
did-
they wouldn't let Don Jr. in and Kimberly Guilfoyle.
which is crazy. And Larry Elder, which by the way, I'm super annoyed about that.
I'm really annoyed because you had Tim Scott, seems like a great guy, but come on. If you could have Tim Scott or Larry Elder in a debate,
Now hold on there a minute. I would not mind. Tim Scott's actually polling really well. I think he's doing better than a lot. Chris Christie. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.